In a world where wars never end, we are going to talk about a player that can change the fate of battle, the M1070 HET. We are about to examine a machine that delivers massive tanks, tankers, and ammunition exactly on time, regardless of any challenging terrain conditions. This machine is not building a skyscraper, nor is it working in a mine. It has one single purpose: to transport the unstoppable and carry seemingly impossible loads across the most rugged geographies. You have seen tanks moving fast on their tracks. However, this is only a short run on the front line or a show of force by armies. You cannot expect a nearly 70-ton tank to travel long distances, crossing roads and bridges on its own. This is where the M1070 HET, with its 500 horsepower and 8-wheel drive system that no harsh terrain can stop, takes on the entire burden. The tractor unit of the M1070 HET alone weighs about 18.6 tons when its fuel and fluids are full. The trailer weighs 23 tons. This means that even when the vehicle is empty, it moves with a mass of over 41 tons. When the M1070 picks up an M1 Abrams tank, the total weight reaches about 105 tons. Even in its empty state, the M1070 HET is as heavy as about 12 medium-sized passenger cars. Fully loaded, it carries the total mass of about 70 passenger cars or 3 fully loaded standard long-haul trucks all by itself. If you tried to pull such a weight in such a harsh environment with a standard truck, the engine, transmission, and drivetrain would not be able to withstand this stress and would tear themselves apart. The M1070 HET, built entirely for extreme conditions, can overcome this challenge with every single one of its parts. We will touch upon all the systems in order. At the heart of this massive machine lies a 12-liter diesel engine. This beast, with 500 horsepower, can produce 2,330 newton-meters of torque at just 2,100 revolutions per minute, while a powerful car produces around 350 newton-meters of torque. This machine generates over 6 times more rotational force. It is well known that in heavy-duty machinery, torque is needed more than horsepower. Reaching this torque at a low RPM like 2,100 shows that the vehicle can reach maximum torque as soon as it starts moving. This torque must not have been enough for the engineers, because they added a torque converter between the engine and the fully automatic transmission. A torque converter is a type of coupling known for its durability. However, it also has a structure capable of multiplying torque at the moment of takeoff. In other words, during its initial move, the M1070 HET can transfer thousands of newton-meters of torque to the ground through all 8 wheels, giving the first movement to a stationary object, especially one this heavy, is the hardest stage. This is called the law of inertia. The M1070 HET's incredible combination of engine, coupling, transmission, and drivetrain literally defies the law of inertia. The Allison 4500 SP fully automatic transmission was specifically designed to handle this torque. If a normal transmission were used, the gear teeth would fall out like a boxer losing teeth in a match, while the engine is at full power and the vehicle is fully loaded. Changing gears in an ordinary vehicle is simple, but changing gears in a vehicle pulling over 100 tons means a massive amount of energy is released for a moment and then reconnected. If this system didn't work perfectly, the vibration during gear shifts could tear all the drivetrain components like paper. The Allison transmission makes these transitions so smooth that the driver only hears a slight hum in the cabin, while outside, the ground shakes. The power produced must be transferred to the ground in the most stable way possible. If a wheel hits a slippery surface or lifts into the air, it could spin freely and waste all the power. Thanks to the 8-wheel drive system and special differentials, there is no loss of power. When a wheel gets stuck in the mud, the system detects this within milliseconds, cuts the power to the spinning wheel, and transfers it to the other 7 wheels that have traction. While utilizing the maneuverability of a general differential system, the M1070 HET has solved the problems of this system with its own unique technology. We know that the M1070 HET changes the fate of war by overcoming difficult conditions. The length of the tractor itself is 9 meters. Together with the special M1000 trailer, the total length can reach up to 22 meters. Imagine a machine of this length trying to turn in narrow areas or forested lands. By the time a standard machine could do this, the war might already be over. But the M1070 HET and its special trailer have a unique feature. The machine doesn't just turn the front wheels with a classic steering system. The rearmost axle of the tractor also turns in the opposite direction of the front wheels. This narrows the turning radius and significantly increases maneuverability. Likewise, all 40 wheels on the M1000 trailer have a steerable hydraulic system. When the tractor turns, the trailer wheels accompany it, preventing the massive body from hitting trees or buildings on the inside of the curve. Another benefit of this feature is minimizing tire wear. Without this system, tires carrying nearly 100 tons would have to drag on the ground during a sharp turn, causing serious wear. Parking such a massive vehicle in reverse or maneuvering it on a narrow mountain road requires not just driving skills, but advanced engineering coordination. We are continuing our series where we examine giant machines and their working principles. If you are interested in these topics, you can subscribe to our channel. We present the most complex systems with 3D animations. You can support us by liking our videos. Now imagine this weight pressing down on the ground through just a few square centimeters of rubber surface. If the M1070's tires and suspension system didn't distribute this load correctly, the vehicle would sink into the asphalt every time it stopped and never get out. But Oshkosh engineers use a tire pressure control system here. The driver can deflate or inflate all the tires from the cabin without even stepping out. On sandy terrain, they soften the tires to expand the surface area, making them spread out like a track. On hard roads, they increase the pressure for fuel efficiency and speed. This is the vehicle's way of adapting to nature. This 100-ton weight can reach a speed of 72 kilometers per hour on asphalt roads. The speed drops to 48 kilometers per hour for safe driving on rugged terrain. On soft ground like mud, sand, or snow, the speed drops to around 24 kilometers per hour. The real engineering success of the M1070 is on slopes. A fully loaded M1070 can climb a 2.5% grade at 38 kilometers per hour without any struggle. This is a massive performance for a vehicle of that weight. If the vehicle is to reach high speeds, tire pressures are increased to 75 psi. If the speed is to drop and the vehicle enters off-road terrain, the pressure is lowered. Because high speeds with low pressure tires cause the tires to overheat and disintegrate. Now, stop for a moment and think about how far this massive machine can go. From a tank carrier facing 50-degree desert heat to a logistics giant moving over frozen rivers in polar cold, the M1070 is everywhere. Its durability is the pinnacle of what is called over-engineering, the art of providing much more than what is needed. If a part needs to withstand 100 units of load, Oshkosh builds it to withstand 200 units. In this way, the M1070 can continue to work tirelessly on the heaviest tasks for decades. In some cases, the load is so large that even one M1070 might be insufficient. That is when 2 or 3 M1070 units are linked together. This train configuration means thousands of horsepower and millions of newton meters of torque. In this scenario, where one vehicle pulls from the front and another pushes from the back, synchronization is everything. If the vehicles do not provide power at the same time, the connecting rods could snap like toothpicks. This is the flawless dance of giants. The M1070 HET has easily conquered the toughest terrains. But have you ever heard of a road train? A train, but it travels on the road. In the next video, we will world of road trains that cross the vast and brutal deserts of Australia from one end to the other, making the ground tremble with their noise from kilometers away. Imagine 3, 4, or even 7 massive trailers stretching behind a single tractor as if there were no end, and thousands of horsepower driving this massive convoy at 100 kilometers per hour.